Hi, my name is Tanya and I chose to do the informative speech on the Titanic. The Titanic was the largest passenger steamship ever built. They labeled the Titanic unsinkable because they thought it was built so well. And for this reason, they only had 20 lifeboats or rescue boats, which really led to why so many people died because it was only enough for a third of the passengers that boarded the ship. There was about 2,240 people who boarded. Um, and they also wanted to save on deck space back then. And the 20 boats that it did have met and preceded the regulations of that time. The White Star Line ship had made its maiden voyage from England to New York City on April 10th, 1912. It didn't make it 4 days before it hit an iceberg, and 3 hours later it had sunk to the bottom of the North Atlantic Sea and now rests about 2 miles down, and along with it about 1,500 passengers. 705 passengers out of the 2,240 had been able to get on a rescue boat and get away. And these rescue boats the 20 rescue boats that were available were not even filled to capacity. There was a eyewitnesshistory.com. Elizabeth Schultz gave her eyewitness story of being on that Titanic. She was 40 years old and was a governess of a 19-year-old girl who was traveling with her parents. She explains her story of how she was in disbelief when she first heard or felt shudders in the ship because she knew that it was this unsinkable ship and she just had belief that it was unsinkable. It wasn't until that she heard a crew member talking about how they can keep the water out for a little while when she first really realized that there was a crisis aboard the ship and that it was going down. Um, she explained how she made her way up to the rescue boats, her and the girl she was governing, and they got onto the rescue boat and they seen how families were getting separated from their husbands, from their fathers, and getting left behind. And she explains how the water was so cold and it was 4 degrees below freezing, and how when the ship was about 60 degrees, up in the air, people were just falling in pairs by themselves into the icy water. Uh, she explains finally that at the dawn of the morning, when she seen the orange glow of the dawn, it brought her hope, and not only the sun coming up, but the ship that rescued them was also coming at the same time. And that's when they were rescued. She was one of the 705 that survived this tragedy. They also had made a movie about the Titanic. It is a very popular, uh, heartfelt movie. It's got a lot of sentimental and personal value to me because when it first came out, I went and seen it with someone who was very special and close to me who is now not here. So every time I see the movie or hear the song by Celine Dion that is famous for the movie, it really touches me in in a very personal way. But that is my story on the Titanic, and it was a very great, unforgettable ship that sunk about 100 years ago last year, and I don't think it will ever be forgotten. There's many artifacts and pictures, and to this day that people are just still interested in, and it was a great ship, but also a great tragedy. Thank you.